This is KVUE News Daybreak.
This takes the politics out of it, hopefully. This has gotten too political.
Another day, another bombshell for the White House. The Justice Department appointing a special counsel to investigate Russia's connection in the Trump campaign. What we're learning about the new man in charge.
A bill creating statewide regulations for ride-sharing companies is headed to the governor to sign. What this means for current companies here in Austin and for Uber and Lyft.
And that bad love connection we told you about yesterday, ending with a man suing his date for the price of a movie ticket, well, it's getting nationwide attention. The man now stepping up to try and prevent this thing from going to court. A very powerful man in the movie business. We'll tell you about that coming up. It's 5 a.m. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us for Daybreak. I'm Brian May.
And I'm Yvonne Nava. So you're going to go on the date with him instead?
I'm going on the date with him. That's the big story.
It's Thursday, May 18th, by the way.
That's right. Let's begin with a look at our roads this morning. Having some issues with a big crash down in South Austin on Old Torf. Let's check in with Annavid Reyes has the details. Hey, Andrew.
Hey, that's right. So if you're in South Austin, you want to look out for this. This is a live look at I-35 at East Old Torf. On Old Torf, the westbound and eastbound lanes were completely shut down earlier, but now it's just a couple of the westbound lanes on Old Torf, and it's all due to a crash that happened earlier. A car actually slammed into a pole. This is a live video that you're looking there. KVUE is live on the scene. This is a live video. You can see that the electric company just arrived to the scene. APD has left the scene. They stopped investigating, so they were waiting for the electric company to show up on the scene so they can clear the power lines. The power lines were laying on the westbound lanes, and that is why the westbound lanes on Old Torf are shut down currently. So if you're trying to travel on Old Torf, you might want to use Live Oak as your alternate route. So they are expected to be shut down until 10 a.m., but we will update you if anything changes. That's a look at traffic. Let's go ahead and get a check on weather with Erica Lopez.
Yeah, it's extremely warm and sticky out there. I know I feel like a broken record. I sound like a broken record because humidities have been on the high side, temperatures on the warm side in the mornings, but this is even warmer and stickier than we've had all week so far. Dew points already in the 70s, temperatures upper 70s this morning. It was quite uncomfortable heading to work this morning, so just need to give you guys a heads up. We're in the 70s throughout the entire viewing area. Just a couple of areas burning at 69 for your dew points. Check out LaGrange, though. When we have 70-degree dew points, that's more tropical like humidity. Kind of feeling like southern Florida rather than central Texas out there this morning. To top off the humidity, we have some highs in the 90s, heat index values, which means the forecasted feel-like temperature will be in the upper 90s, close to 100 this afternoon. Keep in mind this afternoon, 40% chance of some possible storms this morning. I think just some isolated sprinkles for some, about a 20% chance, but it's this afternoon where some storm chances could be in the forecast. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you. 5:02, a battle is brewing in Washington, D.C. A newly appointed special counsel is taking over the investigation into Russia's involvement in the 2016 U.S. election. And this comes as President Donald Trump fights off criticism for sharing highly classified information with top Russian officials. ABC's Janae Norman explains how our nation's leader is responding to the investigation.
A trifecta of tumultuous developments, bombshell after bombshell after bombshell, sending shockwaves through Washington and the White House.
No politician in history, and I say this with great surety, has been treated worse or more unfairly.
At the center of every controversy, President Donald Trump. Now the Department of Justice appointing a special counsel to take control of the investigation into Russia's interference with the 2016 election, including possible collusion with the Trump campaign. That announcement coming after Attorney General Jeff Sessions recused himself. Made by acting Attorney General Rod Rosenstein just a week after Trump fired FBI Director James Comey, and the White House initially blamed the decision on a recommendation from Rosenstein. But Trump later admitting during an interview on NBC that the Russia investigation was a factor. The man now leading the investigation, Robert Mueller, who served as FBI Director from 2001 to 2013 and enjoyed wide bipartisan support then and now.
Yeah, obviously that's a step in the right direction.
This takes the politics out of it, hopefully. This has gotten too political.
Mueller will have all the authorities of a U.S. attorney, including the ability to take the matter before a grand jury and to issue subpoenas.
Whatever investigation goes on will have the credibility of Bob Mueller, the former director of the FBI.
President Trump previously called the Russia investigation a total hoax and a taxpayer-funded charade. He released a statement saying, quote, "There was no collusion between my campaign and any foreign entity, and I look forward to this matter concluding quickly." Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
Back here in Texas, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick's flexing his political muscle in a news conference yesterday. He said if two specific bills aren't passed this legislative session, before the session ends in 12 days, he'll push for a special session. His sticking point, Senate Bill 2, which would reduce how much cities and counties can increase property taxes without a public vote, and Senate Bill 6, commonly known as the bathroom bill.
If property tax relief and privacy do not pass in that special and they're blocked again, I will ask the governor to call us back again and again and again. People elect us to come here and get the job done.
Patrick made the announcement in response to a letter Speaker of the House Joe Strauss sent him Monday asking him to work with the House to prevent a special session. After Patrick's response, Strauss told us the House doesn't take to threats well and added the chambers have to decide on policy together or not at all. Now, special sessions are up to the governor. His office sent a statement saying, quote, "The governor made clear yesterday that property tax reform and maintaining privacy in restrooms and locker rooms are legislative priorities that must be passed. He believes both items can be achieved before the end of the regular session," end quote. Now, the last day of the regular session is Monday, May 29th. A bill creating statewide regulations for ride-sharing companies is now headed to the governor to sign.
That's right. The bill establishes a state license with statewide rules to regulate transportation network companies, or TNCs. KVUE's Corey Coffin joins us now live with details.
So House Bill 100 would not allow local municipalities to regulate ride-hailing services. This has been a major point of contention between the city and companies like Uber and Lyft. You may remember voters went to the polls last year here in Austin and demanded that we have fingerprint background checks. That's what they wanted. That's what the vote passed as. They want drivers to undergo those background checks, but Uber and Lyft wanted to keep their current name-based background check system. Despite losing that vote, the ride-hailing giants promised that they would fight at the state level, and that's just what they have done. So this bill now does do away with what the voters wanted. State Senator Don Huffines questioned the bill's co-author, Senator Charles Shortner, about this very point.
This is unfortunately a real missed opportunity to show that Texans really believe in the free market.
Regulating these services at the city level will always be challenging for the simple fact that people don't live, work, or play in only one city. Transportation, by its very nature, is a regional concern.
The statewide rules will require drivers have annual background checks as well as sex offender registry checks. It also mandates records on rides be kept for 5 years, and the state can revoke a company's permit. Now, while the state won't require fingerprint background checks, the companies still can perform them if they wish, and they can market that to customers. So next, the bill has to be signed by the governor. If he does that, it will take effect September 1st. Reporting live in downtown Austin, I'm Corey Coffin for KVUE News.
And while that bill is headed to the governor's desk, Ride Austin is saying the return of Uber could cause them to go out of business. The CEO of Ride Austin told our partners at the Statesman if they give fewer than 20,000 rides a week, they will likely have to shut down. Right now, they give about 50 to 70,000 rides a week.
5:08 now. Kyle police searching for a man who robbed another man in his own front yard. Officers say it happened around 10 p.m. on I-35 and RM 150 yesterday. Man told police he was mowing his front yard when he was approached by two men with guns. They hit him with a crowbar. The two men drove away in a red four-door Mitsubishi SUV. One of the robbers wore a black hoodie and a mask. The other wore a red hoodie, had a mole near his face, or on his face, near his nose. Both about 6 feet tall. If you have any information about this robbery, call Kyle Police.
Well, by noon today, we could know what's next for the suspect in the stabbing on the University of Texas campus. Kendrix White was in court for the first time yesterday. The judge ordered another mental evaluation before determining whether White is competent to stand trial for murder. The judge should get those results by noon. She will then set a follow-up hearing for the end of the week or next Monday. White is accused of stabbing 4 fellow students, killing one of them in the May 1st attack.
Families across the country already making plans for one of the first big travel holidays of the summer season. Memorial Day weekend is right around the corner. AAA predicting just over 39 million Americans will travel 50 miles or more away from home for Memorial Day weekend, the highest number since 2005. 3.2 million Texans will be traveling. About 2.8 million of those will be driving. Today, if you're driving, you might want to use those windshield wipers a time or two, at least later on this afternoon. Erica Lopez joins us now. Chance of rain later today, right, Erica?
That's right. Actually, even this morning, we're still seeing some spotty sprinkles possible for the eastern counties. Very minimal. It's this afternoon where we have a better chance of storms for the hill country. Some of them could be severe. But here's what you're waking up to this morning as you're heading out the door. There you go, that 20% chance of possibly a scattered shower or two. But temperatures already in the 70s across the viewing area. We're clear in terms of rain right now, but check out your dew point. 70s across the entire region. Extremely sticky. If you thought the last two mornings were uncomfortable in terms of humidity, today's even more sticky. So here's what your forecasted high is: 90 degrees. You factor in the humidity with the temperatures. Heat index values this afternoon will be close to 100 degrees. Very, very warm out there. And also this afternoon, that's when we will factor in that 40% chance of a possible shower or thunderstorm. Southeast wind at 5 to 15 miles an hour, just bringing in more humidity. Rain chances will continue into this evening, and another warm evening is in store. And I'm tracking rain chances for the next several days. It's busy, where it's that time of the year where we begin to enter into a busy weather pattern. So I'll talk rain chances, of course, for this weekend, most importantly, later on this morning. Guys, back to you.
Eric, thank you. The CEO of Alamo Drafthouse Theaters asking the man who's suing his date, remember we told you about this guy yesterday? Well, he's asking him to put the lawsuit to rest. The Austin area man suing his date for $17.31, the price of a movie ticket, because he says she was texting during the movie, then got up and left him there all by himself. Yesterday, the CEO of Alamo Drafthouse Theaters posted on Facebook, he's concerned about our courts being clogged with superfluous lawsuits and is instead offering the plaintiff a $17.31 gift card. The guy who filed the lawsuit tells us he's considering it.
Oh, take it and run, buddy. Just take it and run.
And he wasn't even at an Alamo Drafthouse. He was at some other theater. And now
hey, it's nice. And he's getting... Do you think he just wanted it for this 15 minutes of fame? Because he's getting it.
He's getting about 30 minutes.
Or 17 minutes.
17 minutes, yeah. Just exactly that.
A high school graduation turns into a disaster for one Central Texas student.
The error that wiped away her valedictorian status and what she's saying about it today.
And a Central Texas city looking at new ways to track your child's success. Why they want to hear from you.